Bulls Nation, let's go! This is another great victory at home at the United Center against a really good opposition in the Dallas Mavericks. And once again, this is the game that I would like to call the perfect home game. After we head out west, we won't see that home crowd for a very, very long time. And this is the perfect way to finish off a home stretch and now to carry over to the west. So without further ado, let's talk about this home game and let's talk about the Bulls and the Mavericks in this video. Let's do it. What's going on, everybody? It's the Bulls Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Today, we've got a Chicago Bulls versus Dallas Mavericks game reaction. The Chicago Bulls, with their last game at home for quite some time before they go out to the West, had to finish off their homestand strong, and ladies and gentlemen, they did exactly that. This was a fantastic offensive game, probably one of the best I've seen from the Bulls this season, if not the best, and it's exactly what we needed because Dallas was also very hot from the field as well. Before we get any further, please like and subscribe to the Bulls Show. Turn notifications on and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about who's your player of the game, who had the biggest impact, and just how important is this win for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. The Chicago Bulls won this game 117 to 107. And as I mentioned before, the offense was flowing tonight. It almost felt like we could do no wrong offensively. And that's exactly what we needed because the Dallas Mavericks, especially in the second and third quarters, were heating up from the field. They were making some crazy shots, well-contested shots, and we had to deliver offensively if we were going to win this game. And we did that, and we did that at an elite level as well. Our offense stepped up big time for the Chicago Bulls. So, let's talk about the positives of this game. Our perimeter shooting was fantastic today. Now, the Bulls are not always seen as the best perimeter shooting team, but today they delivered in the perimeter shooting. You saw Lonzo Ball make a huge amount of threes for the Chicago Bulls today. Alex Caruso from the perimeter as well, Zach LaVine. Then you had other players that did make big impacts around in other areas as well. It was a really good offensive game, a really good perimeter shooting game, and just overall a good offensive flowing game for the Chicago Bulls. Now, defensively, this is not a game where we need to talk about the defensive end because no matter how good of a defensive display we had, the Dallas Mavericks teamed it up regardless. Whether we were playing great defense or whether we were playing lackluster defense, you saw Luka Doncic hit up in the second half. Porzingis made some good shots. Brunson was good off for them off the bench in the first half. Tim Hardaway Jr. as well made some really big shots. They heated up. Finney Smith as well. They heated up from the field regardless of the defense we were playing. This was an offensive-minded game from start to finish for both teams. And that's where our stats lied, and that's where our offense came. And that was a really strong game that we needed. And it's a perfect home game because we finished it off in style. We finished it off at home, and let's see what we could do out in the West. But just a good game overall. This is one of those games where I think many people around the Chicago Bulls fan base will be very, very happy with a lot of the performances we saw today from every single one of these players. There's a big, big shout out that goes to everybody on this team for bringing out such a big performance for the Chicago Bulls. And not to mention the bench as well. What I liked about this game is that Billy Donovan just changed the rotation. We didn't see as much of Tony Bradley in this game, and we went with Alize Johnson. And I think that worked out very, very well for us. And I like when Billy Donovan takes a little bit of some risks. I like when he decides to switch things up because if we need something different, something new, something energetic. And Alize brought that today in his performances as well. So there's a lot of credit that goes out to Billy Donovan for the way that he coached this game as well. We didn't see as much isolation today either, and I think that also reflects on the amazing stats that we saw in today's game. It wasn't all isolation based, and that is very positive to see as well. It's a good step, a good progression in the right direction for the Chicago Bulls offensively today, and that's why I think many people will be very happy with how our offense played. Let's look at the individual performances, ladies and gentlemen. Let's look at the players that made big impacts in today's game, and there's not going to be too much said about negatives in relation to the Chicago Bulls today. So let's get started with Lonzo Ball. 21 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 steal. I think he made 7 out of 10 3-point shots today, and one of them was a half-court shot, so I'm not even going to count that. But the reality is for Lonzo Ball, this was his best game of the regular season, in my opinion, and he was not a passenger in the second half. That's a great sign to see that when Lonzo Ball was impactful, when Lonzo Ball had his best game, it was in all 4 quarters of the game. There was not one quarter where he was disappointing. He was able to run out in transition, make some beautiful plays. He got a really fantastic assist to a 360 Zach LaVine dunk. Fantastic highlight plays, ladies and gentlemen. And Lonzo Ball was phenomenal in his scoring today. And if he didn't make those 7 threes, where would the Chicago Bulls be? I thought he was the game changer in today's game, and I can't wait to see if he can keep this up going to the West. He knows a lot of that Western Conference. He knows a lot of those teams, and let's see if he can bring out similar performances out West. Zach LaVine had 23 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal. Obviously, the 360 dunk, I think we can all look at that highlight and say, wow, look at Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine was very efficient today as well. And again, as time goes by, as we get to see a little bit more of Zach LaVine, I think his efficiency is starting to come back to him. Obviously, when he had that thumb injury at the beginning, he was more attacking the paint and he wasn't always efficient in terms of his jump shot. I think slowly we are starting to see a really efficient Zach LaVine return to the Chicago Bulls. This is when Zach LaVine's at his best. The pressure's not always on him. He's able to sometimes break them down in isolation. Sometimes will be off of a screen. And more often than not, it's other players getting the ball to him to make a shot, which is what we saw in this game as well. It was just a beautiful performance from Zach LaVine all the way around, and it's a very efficient performance as well. And this is what Zach LaVine will do best for the Chicago Bulls. DeMar DeRozan, 17 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 1 block. Now, you look at the stats for DeMar DeRozan, obviously it's still a good game, but it's not as good as previous games that we've seen from him. And this is the best part about having a really great offensive night for the Chicago Bulls. DeMar DeRozan didn't need to drop 37 points to keep us in games. It's fine and it's great when we need 37 points. DeMar's going to be there to get them for us. But when he had an off night, you see Lonzo Ball step up. You see Zach LaVine step up. You see Vucevic, which we'll talk about soon, step up. You see Caruso off of the bench step up offensively. And DeMar didn't need to have that 37-point game to keep us in these games. And that is a great sight to see as well. Efficiency-wise, DeMar was not great efficiently today, but he did get other plays involved with 6 assists. He was crashing the boards. He was playing solid defense. He was a great player in today's game, despite the efficiency issues. So congratulations on a strong game from DeMar DeRozan. And again, we will need him out west just as much as anybody. So hopefully he can continue to have great games out in the west, and maybe we might need those 37 points every now and then and those 30-point games. Hopefully we get to see that DeMar DeRozan as well. It's good to have diversity in the way that they play. Nikola Vucevic had 18 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal. This was a close to a triple-double alert for Nikola Vucevic, and I'm not going to say just yet that he's back, but this was a great game from Nikola Vucevic. That fourth quarter could potentially be the game changer for Nikola Vucevic against the Brooklyn Nets. He had a phenomenal fourth quarter where he didn't miss a shot outside of one shot, I believe. And this game was a strong performance from Nikola Vucevic. He was better efficiency-wise. He was going into the post and he was taking advantage of smaller defenders. He was taking advantage of Porzingis, who I think we all know doesn't like contact in terms of getting rebounds and in the post. Nikola Vucevic took advantage of that today, and in my opinion, this is a step forward, another step forward in his game today. If he can consistently get that stat line with efficiency, we are a dangerous team, and he's a big reason why our offense was flowing. He got a lot of easy shots today, and he made them tonight. So congratulations to Nikola Vucevic. A really strong offensive game, as it was for everybody, but definitely he deserves a lot of praise for his performance. Let's go with Javonte Green now, who had 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. He also got a highlight play. He grabbed a rebound over 2 Dallas Maverick players, kicks it out to Lonzo Ball in mid-air. Lonzo Ball makes a 3. Huge highlight play. It gets the momentum going, gets the energy going, gets the team running. And yeah, Javonte Green is a big part of this team. I know when it comes to statistics-wise, there might be some nights where he doesn't necessarily get to score the ball. He had 7 points today, which is a really big bonus in the starting lineup. But there might be some games where he doesn't necessarily produce offensively. but he is bringing the energy. He's the energy guy, and the energy in the starting lineup is improving because he's in the lineup. So I like Javonte Green where he is right now. I know many people like to see Derrick Jones Jr. start. I think right now, it was very similar to Patrick Williams where we were winning games, and it's going to be the way that I see it now. I don't want to fix a system that might not be broken. With Javonte Green, I don't want to see him move to the bench anytime soon for this team unless we do have, obviously, some really big issues in the future. So until that happens, or if it ever does happen, let's see Javonte Green continue to run at the power forward position. Alex Caruso, 16 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, and the biggest stat of them all, 6 steals for Alex Caruso. He is leading the league in bench steals, and he could potentially end up, if he's keeping up 6 steals, he might just lead the league in steals in general. So he's been phenomenal defensively, and the scoring was an added bonus to the Chicago Bulls. That 16 points was absolutely sensational. He got MVP chance, and he was just a huge player in this game. And I'm going to give you my 2 player of the games right now. It's Lonzo Ball or Alex Caruso, because they made the biggest differences in this team, and they both deserve equal opportunity to win that, and I'll have to make that decision later. But a superb performance off of our bench for Mr. Caruso, and once again off of a really poor, I want to say poor, but a struggled night against the Brooklyn Nets. He retaliated in this game by only missing a shot, I believe, getting 6 steals and adding 16 points on the board, winning a very big win for the Chicago Bulls. You can't ask for a better comeback game than that. Then we've got Derrick Jones Jr., 6 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists. Again, Derrick Jones Jr. has some really solid plays in today's game. His athleticism is very vital. He got some big offensive rebounds today. Just a really good component, a really good core player into the bench, and again, he's really helping us win some games here. So another strong performance from him. Ayo Dosunmu has 7 points and 1 rebound. Efficiency wise, I don't think Ayo was tremendous, but I like his attitude. I love his attitude. In the end, he makes shots. He's letting players from Dallas know that you need to guard him, and at the end of the day, when he's making shots and he's speaking whatever he needs to say, it's a good attitude to have, and especially when we have the momentum, getting some doubt into the Dallas Mavericks heads, some of the players in their team, getting some doubt to them is something that could potentially be big. Trash talking is not something I always want to promote, but in some instances when we need to bring doubt into players' heads, I think Ayo could definitely be the guy to help us. And again, I see his minutes being just fine. I honestly do. I don't know why people keep perceiving that he might not get minutes when Kobe White comes back. I really think that they could play together. And I think Billy Donovan said that they might do a 10-man rotation because of this. So there you go. Keep your eyes out on Kobe White and Ayo playing together. I think they're going to be great. And Alize Johnson, 2 points, 7 rebounds, and 1 assist. Alize Johnson, a very simple one here. He was here to change the game for us. He was here because we saw whatever the lineup we were playing, that zone defense for the Dallas Mavericks was really affecting the Chicago Bulls. So what we had to do was come out and change something, change the rotation, bring a player that they haven't seen in, and that's what Alize Johnson was in here to do. He's here to change the game, and he definitely did that for the Chicago Bulls, and he gets full credit to the way that he changed this game. I'm very, very happy with his performance. 7 rebounds, again, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 points, sorry. But yeah, and the assist as well. It was just a good night for Alize Johnson. And when we needed something different, he was able to step up and provide it for us. And I'm very, very happy about that. Now, the must improve. This is a game that you don't need to see a must improve. There's not one person here that didn't play their part in this win. It's a great, overall, fantastic team win for the Chicago Bulls. So I'm not going to give a must improve for this game. I don't think anybody deserves to get criticized for their performance. And the player of the game, I love the way that Alex Caruso played, and I think many people would like to give it to him, but I think today, without Lonzo Ball, I don't know where we would have been. When our offense was really needed in this game, Lonzo Ball stepped up big time for the Chicago Bulls with 7 threes, and he was able to get 6 assists alongside of that. Defensively, he was as good as you could ever ask him to be. He's always good defensively. I don't even need to criticize Lonzo Ball ever really on a defensive end. We know he brings it every night. And it was just a fantastic game overall, and it was a well-needed game. Without those 7 threes, without the 21 points from Lonzo Ball, this game could be very, very close, and we could have potentially lost the game. So he was the game changer. He is the X factor. When Lonzo Ball plays well, this team will end up playing well because he facilitates like a madman, and then again, when he's making threes, it's all over for other teams. So He had a really standout game. This is his best game as a Chicago Bull in the regular season. And let's see if he can continue up the momentum of his three-point shooting and his way of facilitating and not becoming a passenger in the fourth quarter. I thought we did a really good job in getting Lonzo Ball this game today. He was fantastic from the start to finish. The Bulls' record is 8-3. Ladies and gentlemen, we walk into the West now with an 8-3 record. We had a fantastic game at home, the perfect home game. We will verse Dallas one more time away from home. I'm not sure when that will be, but hopefully we can carry over that momentum against them away from home. And it's good to see that the Chicago Bulls have an 8-3 record. We are still one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. And I'm really enjoying our basketball, ladies and gentlemen. It's a fantastic sight to watch and it's extremely fun. But the West now, ladies and gentlemen, we have a tough challenge in the Western Conference. Again, I still believe we will come out of this very strong. And that's where it all starts against the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors have had a phenomenal start to the season. I still believe they're around 9-1 in their last 10 games. I don't know if they've won or lost. I haven't checked the games today, if they've even played today. But nevertheless, they have had a terrific start to the season. And we have seen sometimes that their perimeter shooting will get them going. So this is a main focus for the Chicago Bulls. Our offense, I think, will take care of itself. I think we have a really good offensive lineup, and I think we can match them offensively. But if they get going from the perimeter, it could very well be a danger game for the Chicago Bulls. But I am walking into this game very positive. At the end of the day, I have to walk into every game positive because this team is really, really good. And it'd be a shame if I walk into a game not confident that we could win it. And that's how I feel heading into this Western Conference trip. And that's how I feel heading into this game against the Golden State Warriors. One of the hardest games of the season so far, in my opinion, will be against Golden State and Stephen Curry. They're a great team and they did beat us twice last year. So hopefully we could get some revenge on them in the next game. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. Hopefully you enjoyed the game reaction, ladies and gentlemen. I definitely enjoyed the game and I really hope you guys watched that game. If you haven't watched it already, please go back. It was a really fun offensive night. And again, I just want to say before I go, I'm a really big fan of Luka Doncic. I think the way that he plays is like an artist when they decide to draw or paint. It's really a master of his game. And I know he didn't have the best of games. He had a double-double today, to be fair. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Luka Doncic, and I think he's going to be something serious in this league if he isn't already. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. A big praise to the Dallas Mavericks as well, I guess, and Luka Doncic for the way that he plays. I love the way that he plays. And let's see how they go in their regular season. But of course, as a Bulls channel, as a Bulls fan, I'm Bulls first. I'm very happy we got this win. Take care and peace.